I was told once when I was a child that sometimes when you try to save a nickel, it will cost you $100. And at the time, I didn't understand what $100 was. I knew it was a lot of money, but I didn't know what it was. And now, as an older person, I realize that couldn't be any more true than when it comes to dogs, their health, their allergies, their nutrition. Here's the deal. What good is it for you to be feeding pedigree to your dog, saving money on dog food, right? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the year or a year or two into it, your dog has a full-blown allergy or full-blown yeast infection. The vet's charging you out the yin-yang, and everything you saved, you thought you saved with what you were feeding, you ended up spending it over at the vet. See, the system is far too. What's going on, Caleb? Number love, bro. Number love for you and your crew over there. Miss Amanda Jean Dixon, my dude, Big Bruce Lang, my dude, Michael Higginson over there, and Caleb Weddle. If you haven't checked out Tuesday Night Bully Talk, y'all need to check them out on Facebook, man. They always bringing in good guests, having good insight and good conversations, man. Number love, man. Thanks for coming, bro. Moises Stab Jr., Smelly Ears. We're going to talk about that. Adam Fields, like always. What's going on, fam? Free Distribia. What's up, Bully fam? Hope all is well. Absolutely. Thank you for coming like you always do. And Sarata, good evening from hot Arizona. Well. We are talking about natural dog skin fixes. In fact, I'm getting ready to drop a short tomorrow. And I'm going to drop little hints tonight as far as a new paste I came up with. You guys have heard of the golden paste, right? Great content. Thank you. Number love. The golden paste being turmeric and coconut oil and obviously black pepper. So black pepper is there to absorb more. Your body absorbs more of the turmeric, right? And turmeric is superstar superfood. However, it's very sensitive to stomach acids. That's the reason you got to combine it, say, with coconut oil, with cheese or butter. It's got to be with some sort of fat content in order to be able to make it through the small intestine. And then once it makes it through, in order to get heavily absorbed, you need the black pepper. That's what golden paste is. I did not invent golden paste. I've been using golden paste ever since I remember. I remember when I started breeding Old English Bulldogs back in 2010. So golden paste has been around. People forget. People get lazy. But golden paste, man. Hello, Shade Tree. Nothing but love. Not only is it going to help your dog and lower inflammation, especially older dogs or dogs that have hip issues or even dogs that are exercising hard, golden paste is just super powerful. So let me tell you what the ingredients are. So coconut oil has a particular type of acid. It's called lauric acid. And lauric acid is an antifungal and also has both antifungal and antibacterial properties, right? Now, turmeric, what happened is curcumin, it inhibits the inflammatory response in the dog's body, inflammatory pathways. And what it does is it also has antibacterial and antifungal properties, right? So when you combine the two together, literally, you can use that paste if a dog is breaking out, right? Because of a fungal infection. Like, I don't know so much as ringworm. I've never really tried it on ringworm. But somebody here was saying their puppy was showing that it had reddened paws, right? Well, when you have reddened paws, I don't know if you guys watched my video here recently, but reddened paws irritation leads to microscopic cuts. Those microscopic cuts are a magnet for both bacteria, yeast, fungus, you name it. So the only way you're going to nip it in the bud is you need something that's going to be there that's going to be able to counteract the bacteria or the fungi. And golden paste works and it can do it. You can put it in your dog's paws. It's completely natural, right? Let me see here. Detailer says, hey, Raul, 2 girls, same litter, fight once. Once they're about 1.5 years. When would you think it would be an issue? They haven't had issues since. And can there be an accident? Can be accidental blood, or is that a true bite? Okay, so Detailer, wow. That's a loaded question, Detailer. And that's only because I don't know what else is going on. So I'm going to have to assume other things, right? So one dog has been getting stressed out by the other dog, or one dog is trying to dominate the other dog. It's going to be one of the two. And what ends up happening, unfortunately, especially for females, when they come in heat, their hormones are kind of scrambled. They're all over the place. It's funny you're saying 1.5, because typically that's when, roughly around that time, that's when they're having their second heat. And what usually happens around that time too is kind of like when the dog is going from teenage years to early 20s. So they want to kind of assert themselves, especially if they're dominant. And there's only so much dominance one dog will take from the other. Now, what I have found, Detailer, from my experiences, is that when females fight, they will hold a grudge. That's what I have experienced in the long run. Males, they'll hold a grudge too, don't get me wrong, but they're a little bit more manageable. Females, on the other hand, when they fight, you'll notice that months will go by and they're just looking for that opportunity to get back to that point when they were fighting again. So you're gonna have to nip that in the bud, man. Best way to do it, in my opinion, is have them together. Make sure you have a taser. I'm not trying to get you to get them to fight or anything like that. In fact, I want you to crack the taser so they know what the taser is and that you got it on hand, and that they have to be in their best behavior when they're around each other. And hopefully, with due time, that can suppress whatever stresses they got going on, because now they have to kind of act in their best behaviors with one another in front of you, because they don't want to get tased if they cross the line. And if they do this enough times, hopefully that new positive behavior supersedes whatever was going on in the past. All right. BB Roddy, as always, you're what you eat. Also, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, man. BB Roddy, you're on point, man. Zulema Santiago, sup. What's going on, Zulema? Shay Tree, love this topic. Oh, yeah, we're going to deep dive. QBN, the GOAT, Primetime Kennels. Primetime Kennels. Hey, man, number love. Appreciate the support, man. Carrie April Dooley, how many times can you feed the yeast detox meal? Well, Carrie is referring to the yeast detox. Let me see if I can bring it up, Carrie, because there may be some people that will catch us on the replay and they would not have they might not have seen the video. So let me see if I can bring it up and show it to everybody, and then I'm going to answer your question, okay? So just hang loose here for a second if I can find it fast enough. And I believe I just did. Yes, I did. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring it up. Okay, let me just do this. All right, so I just want people to know what it is and where they can see it. Otherwise, I'd be doing them a disservice just answering your question and not necessarily giving them the insight that they're looking for, right? So give me just, there we go. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and bring it up here on screen so I can share it and you guys will see what I'm talking about. So what Miss Carrie's talking about is this video we made. Let me see if I have it down here. It's got to be on the must watch, top videos, brand video, live streams. Okay. Multiple playlists. Here you go. Get rid of yeast. Okay, so she's talking. Let me see if y'all can see my screen. You can, but Carrie, I'm gonna have to take. Yeah, there you go. All right, let me just play the video, and you guys will see the video starts out like this. It's just showing hot spots. Do they have ringworm? Is their belly distended? Are they having runny stools? Have you seen parasites in the stool? In this video, I'm going to show you how I naturally deworm and detox my dogs from yeast simultaneously. Okay, so we're not going to watch the whole video, but I just wanted to show that, and I want to also show what the video thumbnail looks like. So if anybody wants to watch it, they can. So sorry, Carrie, I'm back here tonight by myself. And as much as I want to do things quickly, it's taking me a bit of a second to get it going here. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I got you. All right, here we go. So the video that she is talking about is right here. So this is the video right here. Natural yeast detox dewormer, because it's all of the above. It's a yeast detox, it's also a dewormer, and it's completely natural. Okay, so let me answer your question. I'm sorry I kept you holding for so long. The answer is you can feed that every day if you wanted to. The only thing that I would suggest that you take out of it is going to be the papaya seeds. Papaya seeds have trace amounts of cyanide, and that's what helps deworm. But if you could take the papaya seeds and even the papaya itself out, if you wanted to, you could feed that every single day. And that's an excellent question. Thank you for asking, Ms. Carrie. Queen's New Blood says, I don't get many fights since I know how to prevent them. I have my, hold on a second. Why is this so small? I have my boy get into small disagreements, but usually ends at my say and both get in trouble regardless, since I don't allow a fight ever. And I think that's the best thing you should do. And that's essentially, that's how you're showing control over your dogs. Being able to break up a fight with just your voice, that to me, that's what really lets you know if you're having control of your pack and the dogs in your yard. You should never, want to run straight, to light a dog up or anything like that right off the bat. You just have that there as a preventative. D. Taylor says, awesome. Thank you. You got it, D. Number love. Appreciate you. Let's see. David Stanton. What's up, Raul? New to the bully community. Had my girl since February. She never had an allergy issue until now. Okay, I'm going to tell you why now. Are bullies more susceptible to allergies during the summer? Love your channel. Thank you, David Stanton, for coming on. By the way, guys, if you want to become members of the channel, I'm answering all questions, but keep in mind, member questions will always be first. I will answer all member questions for as little $5 a month. You could be supporting the channel, and it's always going to be a two-way conversation. So, David, let me tell you why. First of all dogs go through a transformation between winter and summer, regardless if they're coming from winter to summer or they're going from summer to winter. Why is that? They have what you call a winter coat and they have a summer coat. Okay. So in that transition, there's a lot of things that play into it. For example, the wax, or it's called Saborea, but dogs release a wax at the base of the hair. I don't know if you're aware of this, but all dogs have mites. Mites are tiny little parasites that eat away at that wax at the base of the hair. What happens is dogs during the winter, because there's less humidity for the most part, and also there is not enough heat, the type of organisms that are going to be attacking dogs and their coat and skin can be somewhat different than what it is during the summer, right? During the summer, you got those two factors, heat and humidity, in a lot of places, including here where I live. And that's what feeds to yeast, to bacteria on the skin, mites overgrowing. Why is it? Because if you're feeding kibble to your dog, a lot of the ingredients that are inside of kibble are not natural to be fed to a dog. Have you ever seen a wolf out in the wild, out of nowhere, just go and hunt beet and eat beet? I'm talking about the vegetable, right? Very high in sugar. Tackle sugar cane and eat it there raw. Grab a corn husk and tear it apart and start eating corn. No, they don't do any of that. Yet that's a lot of the stuff that they put into, or ingredients that they put into kibble. I just recently made a video last week talking about it. A lot of these kibbles are actually feeding into yeast. If you really think about it, and I hate to be cynical, but here's the deal. I'm a nurse, okay? I'm an RN. I've been an RN now for 14 years, going on to 15. When I decided to become a breeder, I already had about 2 years of breeding experience, and I already knew that a lot of the medications that we dealt with translated over to dogs. What was changing was a lot of times was the dosage. So, when I first started breeding bullies about 10 years ago, all of my dogs came down with yeast. At the time, we were feeding Victor kibble, okay? And that's when I realized right off the bat that I'm going to have to figure something else out, because during the summer, I can't feed kibble because all my dogs came down with the yeast infection. So, started taking my dogs to a vet. Mind you, at the time, we had maybe 14, 15 dogs. You could only imagine the bill, how high it was going. It's $80 for a consult visit. That's just for the vet to walk in the room. It's $80, right? And then in addition to that, little things that they were doing. Like, for example, he was telling me at first, because what they do, let me rewind. What they'll do is they're going to test your knowledge. They're going to see how ignorant you are or how knowledgeable you are. You see, ignorance makes you a prey in the breeding community, and also as a dog owner in the eyes of a vet. Okay? If the vet knows you're in a dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there, he or she is going to take you through the longest, most expensive route to get to whatever solution there is, right? But when they know you know what you're talking about, then everything changes. So let me get to my point. I started taking my dogs to the vet, and he kept nudging at me, Hill Science diet. Now, don't feed Victor, feed Hill Science diet. So I go to the Hill Science diet bag at the time, flip it over, look at the ingredients. It's a bag of flour. What do you mean you go to this? You see, the industry is set up to sicken the dogs. So you got to go to the vet so they can push you some pills, and it keeps the entire system going, right? And so this is one of the reasons why they don't want you to understand that natural ingredients and changing from, say, kibble to raw is actually going to fix your problems in the long run. They don't want you to know these things. It's really, really that simple, guys. Hold on a second. Here we go. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? So let me go to Google and let me type in, can dogs eat garlic? Okay. I just want to show something to you guys, because I get this every time I drop a short or I drop a video when I'm saying, I feed my dogs garlic. What you get is all these Captain Obviouses that will go to Google, and whatever first thing that Google says, that's it. We don't need a deep dive anymore. We don't need a search, nothing. That's it. That's what Google said. So it's law, right? Now, never mind that Google has never owned a dog before, right? Never mind that Google is a company that's got stocks and people that need to make money off. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because even Google gets influenced by big pharma and big vet and other industries. This is the reason why you need to learn to deep dive. So let me show you this. So you go to Google, and I went ahead and asked, can dogs, here you go. Can dogs, look, I wrote up here, can dogs eat garlic? Is this coming up on the screen? Just want to make sure it is. Yeah, it is. Right? Can dogs eat garlic? No, dogs cannot have garlic. It's considered toxic. It's about 5 times more toxic than onions and leeks because it's a more concentrated source of sulfur-containing compounds that can damage your dog's red blood cells, right? Wow. Man. They're going to grab this. They're going to come back to my short and wag the finger at me. Why are you telling people to do this? Well, I'm telling people to do this because I've been feeding my dogs garlic now for close to 8 years, and I've never had a dog get sick off of it, right? So look at this. People ask, how much garlic can I give my dog? Let's click on it. How much garlic to feed your dog? If you stay under the commonly noted toxic dose of 5 grams a kilogram, each clove is around 3 to 7 grams, you will have much less chance of causing adverse effects. To be conservative, staying under 3 grams a kilogram and not feeding it consistently will reduce the chance of adverse effects even further. Okay, so wait a minute. Red flag number 1. This guy over here is saying, no, dogs cannot have garlic. You see how this is the knee-jerk reaction? They purposefully do this to dissuade about 95% of the people that are looking up stuff, because to me, this first answer is the one that's influenced by Big Pharma and everybody else making money off of this. No, dogs cannot have garlic. This one says, how much garlic to feed your dog if you stay under the commonly noted toxic dose of 5 grams? So, okay, wow. And look at this one. What are the benefits of giving my dog garlic? It has a mild antibiotic, antifungal, antiparasitic properties. It also stimulates your dog's lymphatic system, helping to remove waste from the body. Garlic is also an antioxidant. Garlic contains inulin, which is a prebiotic, so including small amounts in your dog's diet helps to support a healthy gut microbiome. What? But it said, but you see, guys, if you ever see me drop a short talking about garlic, do me a favor, go to the comments and watch all these Captain Obviouses. You got people that have nothing better to do with their life than to try to prove other people wrong. Unfortunately, that's the height or the climax of their existence. And so, listen, I haven't even really deep dove. I'm just looking at the first answer, second answer, and third answer. Now, look at this one. Will a little bit of garlic hurt my dog? No, dogs should not eat food with garlic. While eating a small amount of garlic one time might not cause symptoms, larger quantities can be toxic. Garlic toxicity can also be cumulative, meaning even small amounts consumed repeatedly can cause toxic effects. Wow, interesting. So, look, since we're on the topic, let me just go here real quick. Japan dog garlic study. Now, I've broken this down many times, but a recent study from Japan investigated the use of aged garlic extract in dogs specifically for its potential benefits in managing gingivitis. The study, published in Frontiers Veterinary Science, found that AGE, when administered orally, improved gingivitis in bagels without causing any adverse effects. What? Wait a minute. This builds on previous research suggesting that AGE could be a safe and effective therapeutic agent for canine dental health. Wait a minute. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and it also cleans your dog's teeth? Helps with gingivitis and everything else? So that's what I wanted to get around to, guys. The problem is that there are invisible influences that don't want you to know these natural things that are actually going to make your dog do better. Because you could literally start planting garlic cloves in your garden and giving them to your dog, and you don't have to go to the vet and pay the $80 visit and buy whatever crap he or she wants to sell you and so on, yada, 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 right? Simon, do you think now I left the USA military, it's safe for me to actually get a dog safely now once I get home to Wisconsin? Simon, I don't know all that's going on with you. By the way, thank you for your service. I'm ex-military myself. I don't know what your entire circumstance is, but if you can keep the dog safely and it's going to help you in any way, then I would say yes. Alberto Ayala, hola Raul. Queen's New Blood, same with my girls. They understand that if they fight, both will be in trouble. Let me catch up. Not all of us. I'm an ex-trucker. I'm not like that. I will walk away. I'm not sure. D. Taylor, she's feeding them Purina. I know food can play a part with the corn. Could that have an effect? D. Taylor, yes. I have said it many times. I've said it in my videos. I have friends that are trainers. They train police dogs. And the first thing that they do when they bring a dog in is they change the entirety of the diet. And they have their own little diet plan. They feed kibble, but they make sure it doesn't have corn. And there's something else they make sure it doesn't have. There's another ingredient I can't remember off the top of my head. But corn immediately becomes sugar in a dog's blood. The dog doesn't have a pancreas as big or as useful or powerful as we do. Therefore, if they have high sugar, it's almost like feeding 16 ounces of Coca-Cola to a 5-year-old. They're going to be bouncing off the walls, right? And that could be part of the problem. Hit the like button. Come on now. I give my dog coconut oil every day. My dog's coat looks amazing. XL Champ Cooper, coconut oil is by far, listen guys, coconut oil is the most powerful natural thing you can give your dogs. It's got antibiotic properties, has antifungal properties. It's going to hydrate your dog's skin. It's going to make your dog's coat smooth. Remember this, the balanced amount of keratin that dogs produce for their hair and for the coat and skin, that is going to prevent many issues like yeast or overgrowth of Staphylococcus aureus or overgrowth of mites, yada, yada, yada. Carrie says, you're great. Thank you so much. I sent you pics of my dogs having such a hard time with yeast and allergy to fleas. Poor baby looks horrible. I do everything you say. You are the best. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Carrie. I appreciate you. Please become a member. Let's make this a two-way conversation. To become a member, you must come over and watch us through YouTube. You go down to the description below, and there will be a link there. Adam Fields, you have to be the alpha of your pack. Absolutely. Happy Friday, Bully fam. God bless. Carmelo and Chica TV. Number love, man. We got his Mrs. Nanya. Carrie April Dooley, I have 2 Frenchies, and their allergies are horrible. Okay, so his Mrs. I'm going to say this real quick. A lot of times people don't realize, but the allergies are being caused by simple things that you can correct in your home. I don't know if you watched our most recent video. If you haven't, I suggest you do. Things like letting the dog take the toys outside and then bring them in the house. That's a no-no. In my house, there are outside toys. There are inside toys. They don't get mixed. Why? Because my wife and I say we cut the grass. And one of the toys, I don't know, goes to a little grass pile, falls on a little grass pile or whatever. You don't know what microorganisms are there that they're going to then bring inside. And what if it's one of those toys that whistles or whatever, and then it rained and water got caught up in there, and now you got moisture. And wherever there's moisture is going to be fungi eventually, and then yeast, and then you're spreading that all over the place, right? So also, what are you feeding the dog, right? What are you, these are things that people need to ask themselves. How often do you clean their beds? I see everybody that has a dog with yeast infections this whole week that I've consulted. When I asked to look at the bedding, they got bedding with foam about yay big, which, look, man, I know you love the dog. I get it. But you need to comprehend that foam is nothing more than a yeast trap. It's gonna absorb all humidity, all yeast, all bacteria, all whatever. So you go over there, you wash your dog with chlorine.